Out of every skill in Phantom Forces, aim is probably the hardest to train. And the way I see it, in any video game there are three main pillars of skill. There's aim, game sense, and movement. And in Phantom Forces, movement and game sense aren't that hard to train, you just kind of learn them as you go. But for me personally, aim was the hardest to develop. Especially because I didn't play a lot of PC shooters before Phantom Forces. And so today, I'd like to give you a couple tips to help you improve on your aim faster. Now the first tip is sensitivity. Now, you've probably heard this a million times, but finding the right sensitivity is one of the best things you could do for yourself. And one of the issues you might run into is that your sensitivity might be too fast or even too slow. And the way you can figure this out is to pick something to flick to, like a light pole, and then try to flick to it exactly on point. And if you go too far, your sensitivity might be too fast, but if you underflick it, like you don't go far enough, it might be too slow. Now, one thing that these tip videos forget to mention though, is that regardless of your sensitivity, it's not going to be perfect at first. A lot of people keep changing it, trying to look for that sweet spot, but there really is no sweet spot. I mean, some sensitivities are better than others for certain people, but quite frankly, it's only going to feel perfect once you practice with it. So there is no shortcut to getting good aim other than just pure practice. The second tip I have is to disable any sort of mouse acceleration you have. If you're on Windows like me, search mouse settings in your search bar, then scroll down and go to additional mouse settings, and then in there go to mouse pointer options, and then turn off enhanced pointer precision. What this does is that it makes it so that the mouse speed also affects how fast the cursor moves. But essentially this means that it isn't a one-to-one input, so it's really hard to get muscle memory for that. Now it might feel weird when you turn it off at first, but trust me, my aim got so much more consistent once I turned this off. Because everything you do is a one-to-one no matter the speed. So essentially, if you move an inch slowly with that setting turned on, the mouse will barely move. But if you move an inch incredibly fast, it'll move like crazy. But with it off, it'll move the same amount no matter what, no matter how fast you move it. And that allows you to build muscle memory. The next tip I have is that you should be able to find sort of quote-unquote aiming shortcuts. So what I mean by this is, you don't need to track people perfectly. Like, if you're using a sniper, for example, you really just have to hit them once. So you don't need to be tracking them as they're running across your screen. You just kind of need to predict where they're gonna be. So in some of these clips you probably see, if somebody's running across my screen, across the map, I'm not going to try to track them and then shoot. I'm just going to put my crosshair where they're already running. And that just saves so much possible human error on my side. Or for example, say someone's moving like crazy, like they're super jumping everywhere. You could try to shoot them in midair, or you could just put your cursor where they're going to land already because you know where that's going to be. Or for example, if they're spam jumping and you're using an automatic, why would you try to track them up and down when you could just shoot right in the middle of their trajectory? So it's these little things that will actually improve your aim despite you not actually getting any better mechanical skill. And the final tip I have for today is to understand your gun's animations. So if you've noticed in Phantom Forces, instead of everything being hit scan, it actually follows the barrel of your gun. So something like the Judge, for example, when you ADS it, it kind of comes down from the top of your screen. So if you try shooting before you're fully ADS'd, it's just going to go straight into the air. Or if you're running with a sniper, and then you try pulling it up and shooting too early, it's going to hit the ground like down to the left of you. So you need to understand how the animations of your guns work, and how you can influence them to get on target faster. So for example, I know that if I jump up like over a ledge, if I vault, it's going to make it so that my gun's going to go into the air and then back down. But if I don't vault, then it's going to be on point the whole time. And a lot of times this will be the difference between life and death. And so you may think, oh man, I have such bad aim, but in reality, you just don't understand how your gun moves. But that's about all I have for today. I really hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you want more tips like this. Drop video ideas in the comments, and I will see you later. Bye.